Hi everybody, Beanmeister22 here. Today we are going to take a pest. It's a hornworm, also called a tobacco worm, and we are going to feed it to one of our captive black widow spiders. Because even though we hate spiders and we hate black widow spiders, if they are in captivity, you must feed them. You know, prisoners in jail get free lunch, right? So we will get the hornworm in here. And look, this might look like a cute little fuzzy caterpillar to you. It is neither fuzzy. It is kind of cute, but it is a pest. It is a hornworm. They are sold online for feeders. Now, as we're putting the hornworm in here, what you need to understand is the hornworm is set up that both ends look like it's the head. So what we're seeing in the screen here is not the head of the hornworm. It is actually the tail end of the hornworm. The head is the actual part up in the upper part of your screen. Now, the black widow spider here isn't quite sure what's going on. I opened the lid, and she didn't like that because it let more light in. She's gently feeling around the highlighter marker pen, which is what her habitat is. I took one of the cat food containers, and I put a highlighter pen there, and bam, that's what she rests on. Now that she found the hornworm, she is slinging some web. When they turn their tail towards the prey, whatever it is, she is slinging out web, and you can see her two hind legs kind of like knitting or guiding the web as she is slinging it out. The hornworm really doesn't know what's going on. Okay, first off, it doesn't have a brain, so it doesn't know what's going on anyways, and they're like robots or computer programs. If this happens, I will do this. If this happens, this is what happens. So yeah, they're essentially, they're brainless. Well, so are spiders, really. But the hornworm can feel something's going on back there by the tail. And when the hornworm tries to investigate what's going on, the black widow spider is trying to tie up the head part of the hornworm too. The problem here is, for the spider at least, the hornworm is considerably bigger and stronger. So the spider has to get more than just one or two strands of web around the hornworm's head to tie it up. And as long as the hornworm keeps moving around and thrashing, it is going to be very difficult for the black widow spider to tie it up. And perseverance gets the job done, even though we're just a bunch of singular little small threads of spider web. They all added up in order to capture the hornworm and tie it up. Now the spider's still doing some tying, but Forden goes in for the first bite. It looks, and there's the first contact. Spider taking time. Oh, so you can see there, as the hornworm moves, it just carries the black widow with it. But that black widow is not unlatching. So you have to figure the entire time it was injecting its venom into the prey. And then after the first bite, the black widow goes back to some tying because the prey is not yet subdued. And really, at any time during this interaction, that hornworm could have slammed down and did some real damage to the black widow spider. Hornworms are sold commonly in the lizard and reptile and pet industry for feeders. Well, she's taking a break. Maybe she's going to go in for another bite. Very cautious, goes in for the bite. Got little things feeling out there. Gets really close. And I don't know what she's doing there. Shooting some more web, obviously. Or maybe some of that ultra sticky web, because remember, they have some real sticky web. It appears she keeps trying to go in for another bite, as if the first one didn't really work, or is taking too long to interact with the nervous system of the hornworm, which would probably be pretty simple. I don't know. So there's a whole lot of extra web tying going on because the spider has to immobilize the prey. Looks like she's going in for another bite. Oh, and yes, I would say that was another bite. It wasn't a very long one, and I don't know how long it takes for the venom to actually be injected. There's a bite. Looks like the third bite, I believe. And she's latching on. And the longer, I would say, she has that bite thing going, the more venom's being injected. Looks like she tried to go in for another bite there as she was slinging the web, but still does not have the hornworm immobilized. Still is not really tied up. If that black widow walked away right now, that hornworm would probably be able to thrash out of the web. So that is why the spider is continuing to sling web. Goes in for another bite. Taking our time on this one. Injecting the venom. I'd say it was coursing through the hornworm's veins, but I don't know if they have veins. I don't know what they have. They're bugs, right? And I would say she has done a pretty good job and has immobilized the hornworm. All right, so really quick, this is what the hornworms look like in the container that they come in. They have that black mesh that the hornworms hang out on, and in the bottom is their feed. I'm pretty sure it's a yeast-based feed like you do with fruit flies. Now, really quick, I want to show you this. This is 1 hour after the hornworm was placed into the container here. This is what it looks like. All right, so leave your comments in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching. And yes, I still hate spiders, but you know, you got to feed them, right? All right, thanks for watching.
Beanmeister 22, the most dangerous man on YouTube.